Hi everyone. Welcome to podcast episode 2. I know it's been a long time. Don't hate me. But today, and again, I'm going to keep looking here. Just bear with me. Some people left comments on my last podcast episode. So one of them was, I want to hear your POV of relationships, being a girl's girl, and whatever brings you passion. I feel like that's a good topic to kind of get into because I have a lot to say about that. Let's just look up what girl's girl means, okay? Let's give everybody a definition to those who don't know. Can I even type? Hello. A girl who has respect for female etiquette. A girl who is not petty and strives to be ethical and decent in her dealings with her female friends. Period. Right. So everyone's definition of girl's girl is different. Take whatever information you want from what I'm saying. If it resonates with you, great. If it doesn't, sorry. Okay. To me, being a girl's girl is wanting the best for other women, making other women feel confident, making them feel pretty, making them feel like they can rely on you. Even though they don't know you, I feel like us girls, we have to stick together, especially during these times. It's just so important. And I feel like a lot of women have the tendency of like competitiveness and like competition with other women. For what? What are you competing with? Is this a race? A race to what? Every single person is different. Everyone is on a different timeline. There is no way for you to compete with the girl next to you. Like, I just feel like that's so stupid and meaningless. It doesn't make any sense. I don't know. That's just me. Because, like, how are you going to go out and, like, make somebody feel a certain type of way because they don't dress the way that you want or they don't do their makeup the way that you want? Like, you can't judge someone because of that. Sorry, my neighbors are also fucking running around and shit. But yeah, I just feel like being a girl's girl is somebody who, you know, you don't even need to know the girl and you're gonna be there for her. Like, I think that's a trait that's super important. So, like, I'll give you 2 examples, right? So, and this happened to me personally. The first story, I was shopping and I was at the register and the girl's checking me out. And her face card was unbelievable. Like, she was so beautiful. I haven't seen, like, flawless, like everything. I was like, oh my god, you are so pretty. And she side-eyed me and she said, thanks. Right? Like, thanks, you know? Fine. I said what I needed to say and I took my bag and I left. Second scenario, I saw somebody walking towards me. I loved her outfit. I was on the phone and I said it. I was like, oh my god. I said it really quick. I was like, oh my god, I love your outfit. You look so good. As we're passing. So I guess she, like, you know, in New York when you're walking, like, you don't really like pay attention to what other people say. But until like we passed each other, I guess she acknowledged that I had said it. And she turned around. She was like, oh my god, thank you so much. Like, you're also so pretty. You know, so you have 2 different scenarios with what you can get. I'm not expecting, like, just because I didn't get the reaction I wanted from the first girl doesn't mean the first girl was a bitch. Like, I'm not gonna be like, oh my gosh, she was so bitchy, I shouldn't have given her that compliment. Who the fuck cares? It was my opinion. I shared it with her. Whatever she wants to do with that, she can. Maybe they give compliments and when they don't get the reaction that they want is when things are like, oh my god, no, she's a bitch. Bro, what? Like, everybody takes things differently. Like, maybe she's just not somebody that's like open-minded with other people, and like with her friends she's like the most comfortable person in the entire world. Like, we don't know her, but what we can do is do what we want, say what we need to say, and whatever happens is gonna happen. That's up to the universe to decide. Nowadays it's just so competitive and people just want to compete, and it's like, oh well, you know, I want to have the best this and I want to have the best this, and that's fine, you can. But don't make others feel bad because they don't have it. You know, like, that's grimy. Oh, another thing is, like, if you're in a group setting and the girl is making you feel embarrassed, or she's embarrassing you, or she's making you feel like weird, or she's just like talking about like everything that you guys talk about, like, oh my god, that, like, oh my god, I can't. There was a situation where we were in like a group setting and there was a new girl in the group, and I, the type of person I am, will make that girl feel like she's been a part of the group for years. Like, that's just who I am, and that's what I'm gonna do. I don't care about the girls that I'm talking to, and they're always gonna be there. They're my friends, right? But this new girl, she has no idea what anybody is like. She doesn't have anything to say. She's already uncomfortable and nervous. Why is she gonna be the one like, oh, I'm gonna wait for her to come up to us? Like, no, go up to her. Go up to her and like make her feel good. Oh my god, I love this, and like compliment her, and then talk about like where she's from. Get to know her, right? Like, we're so adamant on getting to know other guys and other people to look for relationships and this and that, but we don't want to get to know friends. Like, what? Make a friend first. But it was so funny. So I asked my man, I was like, do you love women? Like, I love women, or do you just like love women because society tells you to love women? And he's like, babe, what the fuck? Like, he's so like, why are you asking me this shit? But it's true. It's like, I love women. I would much rather a girl compliment me than a guy compliment me. Like, when a guy compliments me, I'm like, okay, who the fuck asked you? But when a girl compliments me, I'm like, oh, so you think I'm pretty? Oh my gosh, you know? That's what it's like. So there's so many things with that. There's so many layers with girls, and like, it's just tough. But like, for me, like, I can see that girls do no wrong. Like, we don't do anything wrong. Like, if we're gonna do something, we do it based off of reason. We do it because something had happened to us in order for us to act like that. Like, there was this TikTok I saw where this guy, he was doing like a skit where he was like being a girl, and one of the things was like, oh yeah, we broke up, and he was like, oh my god, what happened? And the girl's like, oh, I cheated. And he's like, okay, but what did he do for you to cheat? Like, you know, it's that's my mentality. It's like, well, what did he do, or what did that other person do for you to act like that? Which is, might be bad, but I'm still gonna stand on that because we're just those girls. So your definition of girls girl may be different. Do whatever you want with that information. Don't be competitive. Like, there's no competition. Every girl is different. Don't judge somebody because they don't do things the way that you do. Everybody's gonna do different things. That's another thing with like makeup also. It's like, oh my god, I can't believe she has that much blush on. Oh my god, I can't believe she has that much concealer on. Who the fuck cares? It's not your face. You know, like, she wants to, that makes her feel pretty, let her do that. Anyway, POV of relationships. That's a long conversation. That, we can get into so many things. Being in a relationship is a lot of work. I'm not gonna say it's easy, because it's not. I feel like if you are new in a relationship, like if you're getting into a relationship, or you're dating, or you're talking, whatever, the biggest thing I'm gonna give you guys to take away is you have to be the most confident, best version of yourself. Because you are not gonna find the best version of somebody else if you are not the same. So like, for example, right? When we're dating, especially, this was me a lot of the times before I met the person that I'm with now, I was always looking for the perfect guy. Like, picture perfect. He checks all the boxes. He's financially stable. He has a job. He's there for me emotionally. He lets me do what I want. He doesn't like, he's not like this misogynistic guy that like thinks he has all this power over me, this, that, and the other. Like, I wanted that guy. But not everyone is perfect. And especially at the age that I'm at now, and I guess a lot of people can also resonate, like, everyone is still growing. No matter what age you're at, I feel like you're still growing as a 35-year-old, you're still growing as an 18-year-old, you're still growing as a 45-year-old. Like, you're always continuously growing because you're meeting new people throughout your life. And I'm not gonna lie, people influence your like morals and like the way that you think, and they can change a lot and they can stay the same, and you can stand on whatever you stand on. But the more you meet people, the more you kind of figure out what you like and what you don't like. I feel like if you're looking for that picture perfect person, you're never gonna find that, because nobody is perfect. Everybody is still continuously growing, and you can't stop growing. Like, I just, that's not a possibility. Like, you can't just be like, oh yeah, I'm at the ripe age of 32, yeah, I'm done, I have nothing else to learn. Brother, no, you have so much left to learn. Like, 32 is, Yeah, it's old, but not that old. Like, there's so much. Okay, you need to buy a house, you need to do this. Like, you're always in a next chapter in your life, right? So I just want to advocate that you have to be your most confident self when you're looking for a partner. Because if you love the version of yourself and you love the person that you are, you're going to have no problem telling that to somebody. When you're getting to know somebody and somebody's asking you questions like, oh, so what do you like to do for fun? And what do you like to do? Like, you want to give the best possible answers. It's literally an interview. Dating is literally interviews. And if you want the best, you have to be the best. I should get that tatted on my head. If you want the best, be the best. Yeah, I was the biggest hopeless romantic. I loved the idea of love from like the first time I probably saw like a romantic movie. Like, I was like, oh my god, the first person I meet is the person that I'm gonna be with, and that's it. We're gonna be locked in for life. Girl, what was I thinking? Like, that doesn't happen. Like, that's not normal life. And for you, if that did happen and you did find your soulmate at the first try, props to you. And I pray for you, and I pray that your love continuously stays that way, and you know, whatever. But it was hard for me. Like, I did not have that. I had to like go through the ringer and like, you know, do my due diligence of like going through people. And honestly, I'm grateful for that, because I found what I liked and what I didn't like, and I was able to like, you know, I don't like that. Oh, I like this. I'm gonna take that to my next relationship, or like, you know, my next situationship, or whoever I'm talking to. But yeah, I'm very lucky that, and I'm like, alhamdulillah, thank God, the person that I'm with now is my first boyfriend, and I'm praying that he's my only. He came at like the best time of my life, and he is, I don't want to get cheesy, but the best thing in my life as well. Oh, this is I don't like being this like soft. But yeah, I give him a hard time. I do. I do give him a hard time, and I know that, and he knows that. But he puts up with it, and I love him for that. Like, he doesn't change. He doesn't want me to change. He doesn't like judge me for how I am, and he'll just let me rock. And I love that. You know, and my mom always said, like, growing up, that the person that you're with should love you more than you love them. And that's how it was in the beginning. Like, and you know, still, like, he loves me a lot, but I feel like in the beginning he loved me more, and I was still like, okay, like, I can see. But now I think we're both at like the same place of like, we have so much love for each other. We just know that it's us against everybody else, and that's hard to find. That's completely hard to find, especially in this generation. Like, I wouldn't wish going back to the dating world to my worst enemy. Like, that was treacherous. To the people that are still in the dating world, I pray for you. And I feel like it got worse from when I was in it. Y'all are soldiers. It's literally like war out there, and it's like you have to just get the ones that are left, and it sucks so bad. But I was also through that, right? Like, I went through my fair share of soldiers, and I was going through the trash guys, the ones that don't give a fuck, the ones that don't care about me, or just only looking for certain things, and this, that, and the other. And you just go through that, and the more you go through that, the more you find out what you like and what you don't like, and then you end up in a place where you find all of that in one. And there are things, don't get me wrong, about my man that I, you know, want to not change, but like, there's things that we both need to work on. But I'm not gonna be single and wait for him to be that way. Like, we're gonna do it together, and we're gonna learn how to be there for each other at the same time with each other. I think that's the biggest takeaway as well. You can't expect somebody to come out like a carbon copy of what you want, because something's always gonna go wrong. It's hard, and they always say like, when it comes when it's least expected, and you know, don't look for it, like, it'll be fine, whatever. And I'm not gonna lie, that is true. But when I heard those things when I was single, I was like, you're out of your damn mind. Like, I never believed it, ever. I was like, when you least expect it. Okay, I'm not expecting it. I always told myself, oh yeah, I'm not expecting it. I'm not expecting it. Bitch, you're expecting it. In your head, you're like, oh my God, I wish he's the one. I want him to be mine, blah, 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 this and that, you know? Like, you're expecting it. Mine genuinely, like, came out of nowhere. And let's actually get into that. We'll talk about that. So, I entered the dating world, like the dating apps, at 19. I matched with my boyfriend, who wasn't my boyfriend at the time, clearly. I matched with him in 2021. And I was in my heartbreak hot girl era. So I was, and I told him this the other day actually, I was in my man eater era. Like, no, I would just go on dates just to get free meals, never talk to the guy again. Like, that's where I was. I was blonde. I was confident. Like, my confidence at that time was almost like cockiness. Like, it was arrogant in a way where, nah, I'm not, yeah, it was, I was the best in my head. I was like, that was it, right? And so we matched. He was obsessed with me, and he would swipe up on all my stuff on Instagram. Every single thing that I posted, he would like either react, or I don't think liking stories was a thing, so he'd always like say something, which was fine. So he always wanted to meet. I was always busy, genuinely. He denies that. He's just like, oh, you never wanted to see me. No, I was genuinely busy. I had a lot of shit going on at that time, so I never actually really saw him, but we were always texting. And I say texting, it was like whenever I wanted to text him. So like, this is fucked up. So I would text him and we'd have like good conversation for like a full day, and then I wouldn't text him for like 2 weeks. And he'd just be like waiting for me. And the second I text him back 2 weeks later, he'd like immediately respond, because he's waiting for me. Like, he was respectful enough to like let me do my own thing. He didn't push me, and he didn't, you know, make me feel a certain type of way, but he was always there. Like, on my way from home, from work to home, like, he would be on the phone with me, and like he would text me throughout my day, and if I wanted to talk to him, then I would talk to him, and this and that and the other thing, like whatever. Yeah, he was just always there. And then he got into a relationship, and I was fine. I made it very clear that I wasn't looking for a relationship at that time, because I just wanted to like use guys for their money. Like, I'm not a hookup girl. Like, I never hooked up like that. And I made it clear to him. I set the expectation. I'm like, listen, I'm not looking for a relationship right now. If you find somebody else, by all means, get to know that other girl. Like, I have no problem. And he's like, no, like, don't worry, like, I understand, whatever, right? So then he had got into a relationship. Again, I was totally fine. I wanted him to. So he was in that relationship for like 6 months, I guess. We were still friends on Instagram. Like, I was still going on dates. He was with this girl, like whatever. And then my birthday comes around, and he wished me happy birthday. And I was like, oh, thank you so much. I was like, wait, why are you texting me? You have a girlfriend. Like, don't do that. Right? I'm like, because if I was the girlfriend and he's wishing some girl happy birthday that you don't even know, like, I'd feel a certain type of way. So I called him out. I'm like, don't you have a girlfriend? And he was like, oh, we actually broke up. And I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. Like, okay, whatever. So then again, he started like swiping up on every single thing that I posted, because he was single. Like, a couple months go by. Again, it's just on and off, whatever. We're very much friends. My battery's about to die. March comes around, and there was this one day where we would be texting. So there was this one day where it was like 8 p.m. and he was like, I'm going to bed, good night. And I was like, it's 8 p.m. I was like, what do you mean you're going to bed? And so I told him, I was like, if I ever did anything to you, like, you would let me know, right? Like, if I pissed you off. And he was like, yeah. And I was like, okay, so what the hell is up? Why are you going to bed this early? He sends me like a big paragraph, and he's like, I just feel like you're giving me mixed signals. Like, I've been trying to meet you. Mind you, I have not met this man yet. Like, I never saw him physically. We were always just friendly over the phone, whatever. I don't even know why. I guess I was scared. I have no idea the reasoning. And he was just like, I feel like you're giving me mixed signals. Like, I don't really understand, you know, why you haven't even seen me. Like, I feel like I'm wasting my time. I don't even remember what the message was. Oh, he was kind of telling me what I was doing, and he was calling me out on my shit. And so I felt terrible. Like, even though I set the expectation, I was like, damn, like, I'm doing what other guys did to me to him. And I felt super fucked up. So I was like, you know what? In order to make it up to you, let's go out. Like, let's go. We'll meet up. We'll talk about this in person. he ate that shit up. Like, he is not losing the opportunity to meet me because we haven't met for 2 years. Like, he's been trying to meet me for 2 years, and the one time that I say, okay, let's meet up, he's obviously gonna take it. And he was like, okay, fine, we'll talk about it, whatever. So we went to go get ramen for our first date, and when I was going there, like, I was nervous. Like, I had those, like, nervous butterflies. Like, he was probably nervous too. But when we got there, it was, like, easy, like, smooth sailing. Like, it felt like I was talking to, like, my best friend. Like, because we were talking for so long, it didn't feel like anything was wrong or like iffy or whatever. And like, he was shy, he was nervous. I remember when I first saw him, like, he is tall, so like I loved that. Like, I had, like, he was so tall. He's still tall, but I remember like his height was something that I like ticked off in my head. We were like going on, I think we went on like 2 or 3 more dates, and then there was this one day where I got my period, or like it was before my period, and I sent him a long message before I was going to bed. I'm like, hey, I feel like it's better that we stay friends. I'm just like not ready for a relationship. And I kind of like friend zoned him again. And we had planned to go to a Brooklyn Nets game because he loves like sports. And I think he had already bought the tickets for us. And at the end of my message, I was like, listen, you can take whoever you want to the game. If you still want to take me, like, we can go as friends. Like, that'll be kind of like the last hurrah or whatever. He was like, I totally understand. Don't worry about it. But yeah, I still want to go with you. I was like, okay, that's fine. Like, I did want to go also, so it was like a win-win for me. Like, I got to say what I wanted to say, but I still was able to go to the game. I went to the game with him, and I think because he was so, like, he didn't have, like, he was just there, you know? Like, it felt like he was being, like, pulled away, and I was like, oh, wait, no, like, you know? Like, I felt the need to, like, get him. I could tell he was, like, pulling away. He was very quiet. Me and him were just watching the game. Like, that was that. And so because he wasn't trying as much was when I was like, whoa. So then I was like, actually, you know what? Maybe we can make things work, and maybe we can continue to see where things go. And so 3 months later, he asked me to be his girlfriend, and the rest is history. We've been together ever since. We have like bickering and disagreements here and there. Like, obviously that's like any relationship. What did we lead to? What did that lead to? Me telling you that? Then relationships are scary. Like, you know, you don't want to get hurt, and you don't want to put yourself in a position where you're gonna get hurt because you don't fully trust that person yet. But I think you just have to let yourself be vulnerable in the situation, in the context of whatever you're gonna be pursuing. So let's just recap. Let's do a quick summary because my battery's dying. Be a girl's girl. Don't compete with other women. There's no point. Every woman is different. Don't feel the need to be jealous of somebody else. If you like something, say something. If you don't, keep it to yourself. That's pretty self-explanatory, I think. As for dating, be the best version and the most confident version of yourself. You're going to continuously grow. You're not going to find the perfect partner right away. You just need to take it day by day. Go out. Do these things. Like, don't just be at home crying about some guy that fucked you over on Hinge or ghosted you. Take that and go out and be like, yeah, I'm gonna do this by myself because I want to. You could do everything by yourself. Who the hell? I want to know who said you have to do things with other people. Like, do what you want. Camera's flashing. Love you all. See you in the next one.